evening. Welcome to Our News Flash Info, an informative program on the weekly progress of the collectivité. My name is Keisha Brooks. An Executive Council decision of 2015 mandated that as of March 1st, 2016, the Collectivité of Saint-Martin put into effect a regulated parking zone in Marigot in order to improve access to businesses and public services. The Blue Zone will facilitate rotation of vehicles and the sharing of parking spaces in the heart of town.
We are starting the system on the 1st of March. Which means we will be distributing gracefully the disc. Everyone can purchase them either at the collectivité, at the reception, at the police stations, in Grand Cars and in Marigot, and also on most of, if not all, our gas stations on the French side. So therefore, you are subject to have at least one per vehicle, which means in a family, if you have 4 vehicles, you can have 4 discs. What we would not be doing is giving one person 2 and 3 discs. We would prefer that everyone come and collect their own disc. We have about 20,000 to distribute, and we will be starting this process on the 1st of March. What would happen? It is to avoid people, even the workers, that usually would be parking in Marigot from 8 in the morning until 7 at night, and picking up some commercial spaces to have the possibility to leave their vehicles at the Gallis Bay parking area that will be secured by the police officers, by frequent patrols, and would be shuttled to the center of Marigot, to their respective place of functioning by shuttles. Every 10 minutes a shuttle would be departing from the Gallis Bay area to the marketplace, the roundabout at the marketplace, and back to the Gallis Bay area. Now, a couple of questions has been raised. What about the residents that are living in Marigot? The residents that are living in Marigot have the possibility also to utilize those discs, but for now we cannot have any exemption for them because we don't know how much they are. So actually, we are in the process of screening how many they can be and if they're worthwhile to have an exemption for them. If not, they would have to use the same possibilities of the disc, okay? We know that this system would not be successful without the implication, the full implication of our people. It is to revamp the economy of Marigot. We know that it's not only that is going to help the situation, but we believe that that is one of the key factors. And if there could be spaces, easy parking spaces found in Marigot, that you can shop or do your administrative obligations, then I think people would frequent Marigot more easily. It works elsewhere, and it should be able to work. It's just that we need to give the people the proper information. There would be, I repeat again, there would be no sanctions until approximately May 1st. We would be in an informative process. But after that, when you park in those areas without a disc, or when you exceed the time limit, eventually in any other form of difficulties, then there would be a penalty to pay. The purpose of the collectivity is not to capture monies from the operation, but it's really to give our economy a boost.
The Blue Zone will make up the entire perimeter of Central Marigot and will be extended to the outskirts of the town on both sides of Boulevard de France. The blue zone is free parking area with time restrictions in which parking time is indicated by a parking disc, as you see here. The blue zone is indicated by blue ground markings and also at the entrance and exits of the marked areas, and there will be signs marked with P. Private parking and reserved parking spaces will be for deliveries and people with disabilities and will not be subjected to limited parking time in the blue zone. So where exactly are the blue zones located? Rue de Republique, which is the street where Credit Mutual and Dauphin is located. Rue de Liberté, which is the post office and courthouse road. Rue de President Kennedy, which is the road with the Brilliance Forever and the change points on the corner. General de Gaulle, which is the one-way road by Orange. Then you have Rue Victor Maurice, which is the road with the police station. Rue de Saint James, which is the one-way road coming out by I-2I. Then you have Rue de Hôtel de Ville, which is the Collectivité Road, and Boulevard du France. Okay. Again, these streets are indicated by blue ground markings. Any driver who desires to park his or her vehicle in the blue zone should use the disc. Car rentals are invited to buy their own disc for their vehicles, in which their ad will be placed on it.
The French car rentals, we would not be giving them the disc gracefully. They would have to purchase their own disc and distribute them to their clients. Those are for the car rentals on the French side. Now there is a question mark on our neighbors of the Dutch side and also the car rentals from the Dutch side. And that's why we're going to use the period, what we call a grace period of at least till the 1st of May, where we would not be verbalizing anyone, we would be explaining them how to function and how to cooperate with the system. And therefore, we would also extend that information via the medias or even via the Minister of Transportation on the Dutch side and explaining them what is the new attempt in terms of parking facilities in Marigot, and of course the car rentals on the Dutch side would have the possibility to do just as they do when they rent a car, explain their clients how to get along the island, where to go and so on. That would just be an additional information to give them. And then we would see if there is a possibility either to provide them also with disc, or if they should purchase their disc, or if the merchants in Marigot would accept then if a tourist come and stop by and he said, well, I park such and such a place, I come to shop here, that they would give him the disc that he can place the disc also on his vehicle. I don't know how exactly that would work out, but we are counting on an information process to get everyone comfortable with the system.
The parking disc must be displayed visibly on the left side of the windshield of the vehicle. The disc must conform to the approved model adopted by the Collectivité of Saint-Martin. Any vehicle parked in the blue zone must have its parking disc, including motorcycles, bicycles, scooters, and ATVs. The limited parking disc must reveal one's arrival time at the parking space. The maximum authorized parking time in the blue zone is 1 hour and 30 minutes. You should use the parking disc between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. from Monday to Saturdays, except Sundays and public holidays. The parking disc is free of charge. You may visit the collectivity in Marigot, the police station in Marigot, or Grand Cause, and your disc will be given to you. These discs are available as of Monday, February 29th. So what about the surrounding parking? The collectivity advises drivers to park their car in the outer surrounding zones of Marigot. It will optimize parking spaces in the blue zone for tourists and those seeking access to shops and businesses. Thus, the Bellevue parking, which is the roundabout parking between Marigot and Sandy Ground, and also the Gallows Bay parking lot, which is next to the Omni Sports Hall, can be used to park your vehicles outside the blue zone. Free shuttle buses available between Gallows Bay and downtown Marigot. Regular shuttle services from Gallows Bay parking lot, which is the pickup point, to the Marketplace roundabout, which is the drop-off point, will be running from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Monday through Saturday, with exceptions on Sunday and public holidays. The shuttle is scheduled to depart every 10 minutes. The collectivity encourages those working downtown Marigot, that's including us collectivity workers, don't kill a messenger, to park their vehicles in the Gallows Bay parking lot and to make use of the shuttle bus service to get to and from work. If you're wondering about the safety of the vehicles, there will be territorial police officers that will conduct regular monitoring. Newsflash spoke with the president of Association des Commerçants Marigot and the president of the Indian Merchants to find out their opinions on the Blue Zone.
Ok, moi je pense que c'est une très bonne chose. Déjà, on est très content que nous, l'association des commerçants, on ait été concertés, qu'on ait eu des rendez-vous justement avec la personne qui était en charge du transport, parce qu'effectivement, on a un souci qui est celui du parking et qui fait qu'on se rend compte qu'il n'y a pas forcément une bonne distribution des clients, les gens n'arrivent pas assez à circuler et on se trouve dans la situation où parfois les gens sont découragés et effectivement ne trouvent pas de place. Donc on pense que cette zone bleue, ça va être, je pense, quelque chose de très bien pour nous, les commerçants. Ben, c'est le disque habituel, le disque qu'on a l'habitude de voir, donc c'est le disque réglementaire, 1h30, ça me paraît très très bien. Donc là c'est 1h30, je pense que ça va permettre aux gens justement d'un petit peu circuler par rapport aux gens qui pourraient être amenés à laisser un petit peu les voitures toute la journée, qui fait qu'après on a des clients, nous, qui ne trouvent pas de place. Donc qui fait qu'ils sont un petit peu découragés et qui ne vont pas rester. C'est un vrai petit souci. Donc là, le disque, non, il est très bien. À mon avis, justement, c'est bien qu'il soit simple comme ça pour permettre à des gens qui viennent d'ailleurs, des États-Unis ou d'autres pays d'Europe où ils ne seraient pas habitués à utiliser de disques. Je pense qu'il est très simple, ouais, c'est bien. Ça représente bien le centre-ville. Pour nous, hein, moi je réponds en tant que commerçant, hein, je représente l'association des commerçants. Pour nous, toute cette zone, elle est plus ou moins liée à tous nos adhérents, les commerçants qui sont dans Marigot. Donc non, c'est très bien, pour nous c'est très bien. Après, si elle doit être augmentée, s'ils doivent rajouter des routes, pourquoi pas. En tout cas, là, telle qu'elle nous est présentée à nous, elle correspond très bien à la demande de nos adhérents, en tout cas dans le centre-ville, le cœur de Marigot. Et je pense que non, nous on est très contents que des choses soient mises en place. Après, on va voir, hein, il y aura peut-être des petites rectifications à faire, que ce soit sur le plan lui-même ou sur des petites organisations, sur de la livraison. Il y a quelques zones de livraison aussi qui sont ajoutées ici, qui me paraissent très bien. On va voir ça après au fur et à mesure. Mais déjà que ça démarre, c'est bien.
Regarding the Blue Zone, I believe it's a very good initiative, especially if it creates parking for visitors, those who intend to shop in Marigot, and it's an added plus to our economy. However, the implementation and the entire process, how it will be carried out, is something that we need yet to see, because in the past there have been similar methods that have been tried in different countries, and I'm not sure how it will work on an island like ours. But it's still a very good initiative. As far as what I saw in the communiqué from the collectivité, is that the streets that they've designated are all tourism or shopping related, and it will directly benefit the stores that are on that street. And I would expect that it would boost up the economy to some extent. In regards to the way that the distribution of the disc will be done, I saw that there were only 3 outlets in a sense, where you have the gas stations, you have the police territorial, and I think the tourism office. those, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe that those discs should also be given to some stores that they can actually end up selling it to. Well, we can buy extra discs from the collectivité, and if we have a customer who comes in a rental car and we inquire whether he has a disc in his car or not while he's parking, and if he says no, then we can just end up giving one to him as a courtesy that he's shopping with us. So that would also go a little extra way to ensure that people respect the legality of the blue zones.
The launching of the Blue Zone will begin with a 1-month trial period. During this time, if the rules of the Blue Zones are not followed, territorial police officers will display a warning message on the offender's windshield, thus reminding the driver of the parking regulations of the Blue Zone. However, beyond that period, the absence of a disc and/or exceeding parking time limit will be sanctioned by a fine amount of 17 euros or possibly result in the towing of your vehicle for parking obstruction, this depending on the case, of course. Vehicle towing, removal, and impoundment charges will be at the owner's expense. We don't want this to happen, so just follow the rules and regulations of the Blue Zone. Use the approved disc. Do not exceed the authorized parking time limit of 1 hour and 30 minutes. Display the disc in the windshield indicating the arrival time. And if you would like any additional information on the Blue Zone, you may visit the collectivity for a flyer, both in French and English, explaining the Blue Zone. On the behalf of the Collectivité of St. Martin and myself, Keisha Brooks, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time. Have a good evening.